This morning we are going to be talking about safety and privacy in Utah schools, especially biological boys in our girls' private spaces, in bathrooms, in locker rooms. And I often get asked, news reporters ask me, parents ask me, is this happening in Utah? I have to tell anyone who asks now, this is happening in Utah schools. This is happening in elementary schools, middle schools, high schools in the state of Utah right now, where our daughters and our girls are in vulnerable situations where they are unchanging, partially dressed, the most vulnerable place they could possibly be, and there are biological males standing and watching them. And when challenged, and when asked, what is the policy? Why are there biological males in our girls' bathrooms? These school districts are refusing to acknowledge any sort of policy that would designate bathrooms by biological sex. A story of an amazing group of parents right now in one of the school districts in Utah that are currently fighting this battle at this very moment. This very moment, there are parents in Utah who woke up and had to think, can I send my daughter to school today and send her to gym class and have her be safe, because I don't know if there will be a biological male allowed in her dressing room. This group of parents has done everything right. They found out about it, they documented it, they made sure it was accurate before talking to anyone. They reached out to parents in their community to let them know what was happening. They talked directly to the school principal. And then, when they still weren't getting anywhere, they held a community council meeting. And they had the principal come, and they had 2 school board representatives come to that community council meeting so that they could have an open dialogue about what is the policy in our school district that will protect my child. And in that meeting, the administrator of the school and the school board representatives made it very clear there was no policy. Now, when I say there is no policy, that is their policy. So their policy is that they will handle each situation of a biological boy who wants to be in a girl's dressing room for any reason, because this isn't about the students, this is about the policy. Make that very clear. We want every student to feel safe. We want every student to have a place where they can be safe and accepted at school. This is about a policy, not the students. They said we will handle this on a case-by-case basis. And the parents were there. There were 25, maybe 30 parents there, and they're all asking the question, what does that look like? Does that mean you will allow biological males in our girls' changing rooms and bathrooms on a case-by-case basis? And they didn't say no. They would not answer. They said, we will handle on a case-by-case basis. And they stated in this meeting that they would keep the students safe. First off, the administrator can't do that. That is impossible. He cannot control the students in his school. And second, what administrator on the planet would take on that liability? With what has happened in Loudoun County, Virginia, where this is exactly what they allowed, a biological male in a girl's bathroom who rapes a student. They pull the child from the school, put him in another school, and he raped another student. That was handling things on a case-by-case basis. And those administrators could not keep those girls safe. Our girls' privacy and safety must be secured, and we have a right to ask for that. Another thing that is said about this topic is that, well, we can't do anything to discriminate. Okay, don't. We're not asking you to discriminate against anyone. Please do not discriminate against anyone. No one wants that. Davis School District, their policy is clear. We will not discriminate. We will create a safe space for everybody, but that space must be reasonable. And then they list what a reasonable alternate accommodation is. And that reasonable alternate accommodation does not include a biological male being in a girl's bathroom. So this can be done. In Florida, they did it by law. And no legal court challenged it, you guys. It is the law in Florida. Private spaces in schools must be designated by biological sex in the entire state. So our school districts absolutely can protect our students. So if they are not putting in a policy that does that, that is what they are choosing. Call your school board representative and ask them, are we designating private spaces by biological sex? If they cannot answer that question in the affirmative with any sort of affirmative answer, report it, please. This needs to be reported. Our USBE and our administrators and our legislators, they need to know what's going on in Utah schools. So I've shared email and a phone number. Report it to us, story@utahparentsunited.org. Call the USBE hotline and report it. Say, there's no policy in my school to keep my child safe. I need to report that concern to you so you understand that I don't feel comfortable sending my child to school because I don't know if there's going to be a boy in the girl's bathroom or a girl in the boy's bathroom. Tell your legislator. The session is coming up in January. This is a perfect opportunity to find out who your legislator is, to send him an email or a phone call. As always, when you're communicating with your legislator, you need to tell them that you are their constituent and very respectfully ask them, the session is coming up. You will be passing laws in January. What are you going to do to keep Utah children safe? If you need to go to your school board meetings and give public comment or attend community councils, whatever you need to do, we've got to make this a priority. And you are the only person who can make sure your child is protected. It's you. I feel like we're back with masks, right? In a way, isn't this how we felt with masking, right? Nobody else was going to do it for us. We had to do it. And we did it. And we protected our kids. And here we are again in the same situation where administrators and school districts are making decisions that hurt our children. And we are the only ones who can be smart enough and respectful enough and knowledgeable enough. And I say respectful because we have to do this kindly and respectfully. We have to keep all of this other politics, political garbage out of this conversation. This is a policy issue and it's a safety issue and it's an issue with the law. And if we handle it respectfully like that, we will be able to do this in Utah. I know it. And of course, Utah Parents United will be at the forefront of this issue to try and help you gain the knowledge and understanding you need so that you can effectively advocate for your child and for other children in the state of Utah to be safe. All right. Thank you, everyone.